I'm opening a $5,000 short. My idea, price would stall here, build a little range, then break the lows. Target on this trade, around 600 bucks profit. But instead, price reverses, comes straight back to my entry, and at one point, I'm staring at a red number again. Felt exactly like this guy right here. What's up, everyone? My name's Rays. I've decided to start recording my trades on video. In today's breakdown, I'll show you how last week played out, how many trades I took, what risks I managed, how I avoided liquidation, and of course, how much I actually made. First setup, a $5,000 short on broccoli. We had a cascade of daily levels, 1 tap, 2 taps, 3 taps, and every time price came up here, it dumped hard. I set alerts around those levels, and I had 2 scenarios in mind. Number 1, if price consolidated well, showed signs of strength, I'd flip long. But this time, volume was weak. No proper range, no momentum to break out, plus the whole market was chopping sideways. So, I decided to short right here. No need to wait for a fake breakout. Why? Because if it wicked above and instantly sucked back, I'd miss my entry and end up with a huge stop. So I hit the short, 5 grand size. Right after I'm in, price goes against me. Tags the round number 14,550. I was down minus 173 at the worst point. Then, just a couple ticks above the daily level, it finally turned and started dumping exactly in my direction. Then the price came down to the previous low. The same spot where that breakout started earlier, I figured, okay, it's gonna range here a bit, then break down, and I'll close for 600 bucks profit. At this point, I'm already smiling, pulling out my phone thinking, nice, first trade on camera and it's clean, perfect start. So I start filming, waiting for that breakdown. But hey, you know the saying.
Well, wishing one hand, shit the other one, see which one fills up first.
Price flips, comes all the way back to my entry, and at one point shows me red again. Man, I felt exactly like this dude right here. My stop plan was simple. If we break the high and hold above, I'm out. But that never happened. No breakout, no hold. Instead, when the clock hit 6 p.m., sellers just nuked the chart. And if you looked at open interest, it was obvious. Someone big was unloading heavy right from those exact levels. After almost 10 hours, price finally broke that low. I closed the trade. Final result looked like this. I was in the position for 9 hours and 55 minutes. Funding paid me an extra $13.68, and the total profit plus 706 bucks. That's a clean 13.95% move captured. I'm happy with it. Super glad I didn't panic. Didn't touch the stop, didn't move to break even, because in the end, the scenario played out exactly how I planned. Now, the next setup was on the coin AP3. See this massive 100% candle? That was the listing news on a Korean exchange. Their mechanic is always the same. News drops, price pumps like crazy. Most of the time, you don't want to trade this. It's way too easy to get chopped and lose a ton. But after the pump, price started consolidating. It didn't break short, didn't break long, just coiled into a long breakout pattern. And yeah, I took the bait. I entered right here off this little local trend line. The idea was, price could push from here, take out the highs. Size was $4,000 with risk around 160. Always trade from risk first. That's my rule. At that point, I was literally in bed watching the new Formula One movie, the 2025 release with Brad Pitt. By the way, highly recommend it. I'm a huge F1 fan. I even watched the entire Netflix series. Meanwhile, the trade was running. I had my stop and take profit set. Price started leaning my way. But right after 3 a.m., when the new day opens on UTC charts, price wicked out of the range and began pushing toward my stop. I get stopped out. And here's where it gets interesting, Paul. Even without slippage, I should have lost around 160 on this trade. But check this out. See these marks? That's funding. I totally missed the fact that on this coin, funding gets charged every single hour. The only thing I checked was that funding wasn't against me. So I figured, no problem, I can hold this trade for a long time. In the end, I held it for 17 hours and 36 minutes. And instead of minus 160, I only lost 60 bucks because $99 got paid back to me through those 17 hourly funding payouts. Small detail, but hey, I'll take it. Save me 100 bucks. So net result on this one, minus 60. By the way, make sure to subscribe to my Telegram channel. Over there, everything comes out way faster. Because on YouTube, I still need to edit, render, upload, and that always creates a little delay. On Telegram, it's simple. I close a trade, take a screenshot, post the result instantly. Thanks for tuning in, and let's keep going. Let's move on to the next setup. This one was on the coin BIIO. I entered right here. Reason? It was one of the top gainers on Binance at the time. Chart looked super strong, constant breakouts, retests, continuation. On top of that, there was a big news that day. And in my view, that news had a high chance to lift the entire market. If the market pumped, this coin, being a top gainer, would likely correlate and rip higher too. When the news dropped, it took off together with the market.
I switch over to the classic Binance chart so I can set my take profit more comfortably. At first, I decide to place it just under 2,200, but then I notice price starting to coil into a clean triangle. And if you look back at history, this coin loves to break triangles to the upside. Plus, it was sitting right under a round number, exactly 22. Before that, it had already moved level to level, 21, 20, and all the other round numbers. So I adjust. I move my take profit higher, 22.44, still pretty conservative. In my head, I knew there was a chance it could rip way beyond that, but I wanted to stay systematic, lock in profits, and take the win that was already bigger than I originally planned.
Boom! Take profit hits. Final result on this trade? Plus 18.5%, $919 in profit. Honestly, I'm super happy with this one. Lately, scalping hasn't really been working for me. A lot of coins just chop their highs and trap you hard. That's why, in my view, it doesn't make sense right now to throw big size into those setups. I prefer these swing-style position trades, and in this one, risk to reward came out beautiful, 3.5 to 1. My stop was about minus 5%, and my take hit almost 19%. For the whole week, I made plus $1,565, and that was in just 3 trading days, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. On the weekend, I didn't trade. I went out to a beautiful place and took a break. Win rate came in at 67%, which I'm really happy with. Now, the R2R of 13.5, I wouldn't overvalue that number, because remember, I had 17 rounds of funding payments that cut the loss on one trade from minus 160 to minus 60. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. If you did, please drop a like, hit subscribe. I'll keep making these weekly recaps. Plus, I'm planning to record individual trades vertically and maybe even start streaming a live trade, sharing the process and chatting with you in real time. Wishing you all green charts, good luck in trading, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.